Celestial angels fly with burning wings, burning wings. Along the journey, eternal gliding, a moment's flash of light, of heat, of speed. You have landed safely now. Close your eyes, may you lay your burden down. Close your eyes, your eyes. You have a story you cannot fathom, a mark of travels beyond time, beyond time. You were lost to some forgotten. Nobody wants to be a martyr's son. No one. You have landed safely now. Close your eyes, may you lay your burden down. Close your eyes, your eyes. Close your eyes. When the worlds collide, and again you fly back into darkness. If your journey's long and your light is gone, may you find your new remedy. For now, sleep. You have landed safely now. Close your eyes, may you lay your burden down. Close your eyes, you have landed safely now. Close your eyes, you have landed safely now. Close your eyes, your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
All right, we're off and running. Yahoo! Excited to see some names popping up. Kevin, you made it over. I was just playing another show just a few minutes ago when Kevin was over there at that one too. These are the benefits of the virtual days. Is we can just like, boom, I'm over here. Boom, I'm over here. But in reality, I'm still just sitting right in front of my door. And that's working just fine. So it's like to be playing some some tunes here. The Falmouth Coffeehouse. So I think this would have been my fourth show with, well, it is my fourth show with the Falmouth Coffeehouse, and when the pandemic hit and everything was getting canceled, touched base with Paul and Amelia, and we decided we were going to forge ahead and we were going to do this show virtually, and so we are in it now. And so I got administrative rights to the Coffeehouse. I mean, to the Falmouth Congregational Church Facebook page. So I've got some power. Power's on my side right now. And I'm gonna use it to sing songs. That first song, the entry song right for us right there was called Meteor, and I hadn't played that one in a long time, so I figured I'd play that as people trickled on. And, here we are. I'll jump into Back Roads.
She's driving down the highway, exits to the back roads, driving slow. See shopkeep on the corner, children selling lemonade. Sees it clear on the back way. We are bodies in motion. Who we are is how fast we go. Shoot straight to the heart, or take the long way. He's riding on his bicycle, feels the sun, the bumps, the wind. Feels it all, pedaling. Every man that drives by surely has the dream to fly. Our feet roll wings, pedaling. We are bodies in motion. Who we are is how fast we go. Shoot straight to the heart, or take the long way around. I am just walking as the leaves hold off the rain, making a beat, making a sound off of the street. I am what's around, connections complete, with my feet on the ground, my feet on the ground. We are bodies in motion. Who we are is how fast we go. Shoot straight to the heart. Yeah, straight to the heart. Or take the long way around. My feet on the ground. The long way around. My feet on the ground.
So right now, hopefully people are getting out and spending some time in the beautiful days that we have. I know we were going to have kind of a challenging weekend as far as weather is concerned, but man, it's been beautiful, just absolutely beautiful out there. And what that's meant for us is that some of us in the household are planting things in the garden, and I'm watching. I'm digging holes, but I don't really know much about gardening too much, but I love this time of growth and rebirth and planting and spring. Spring is kind of awesome when you don't have to deal with a lot of the bugs. And this isn't necessarily a spring song, but it's Bruce Springsteen's song. No, I'm just kidding. But I thought I'd play a song that it does have a lot of growth involved in it. This is called Seed. And hello, everybody. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you.
Sitting on the edge again, sitting waiting for his roots to remain grounded, your wings to take to flight. You're a seed blown on this adventure. These grounds are not familiar, seeking comfort and light. You're a long way from home. You're a long way from home. You're a long way from home. So stay or run away, being pulled in each direction, being pulled along the way. Stay or run away, 'cause there's hope in each direction, there's hope along the way. Whether you fly or stay. You're standing on the fence again, standing wondering if the wind will keep you balanced or shake you off. And the grass is always greener, giving water and giving shade. It's the energy it stores up that will see another day. You're a long way from home. You're a long way from home. You're a long way from home. So stay or run away, being pulled in each direction, being pulled along the way. Stay or run away, 'cause there's hope in each direction, there's hope along the way. Whether you fly or stay. Ooh. You're a long way from home. You're a long way from home. You're a long way from home. You're a long way, long way, long way. So stay, run away. There's paradox and adventure to get lost and find your way. Stay or run away, 'cause there's hope in each direction, there's hope along the way. Whether you fly, whether you fly or stay.
So it's funny to be singing a song, right? You know, I have songs that I want to sing, some that feel like really like appropriate and apt, and then you start singing any song and you put it through the context of what life is at the moment, and sometimes you get these wonderful surprises. Like this next song that I'm going to play. Last week I was doing a show and somebody requested it in the Facebook world, and I was like, yeah, I think I could try it out, and I hadn't played the song in a long time, and I was like, I'll give it a go, and I didn't realize like how appropriate it was, and I was like, that was just fantastic recommendation. And then I just played that last song and I was like, you're a long way from home. No, you're not. You're only at home. Maybe I should just do some on-the-fly edits to some of these songs. It would probably be the right thing. You can't leave your home. You can't leave your home. Maybe I'll do like a complete quarantine set at some point, but this is the one that that was recommended or requested, and it's a song called "Ride It Out." And wrote this song while I was living at a beach house, Higgins Beach, with Mr. Jeffrey Davis. We'll call it a co-write, but I think he was just probably actually out surfing. But here is "Ride It Out." We boarded out the windows, head for higher ground, because the storm is on the rise, it's on the rise. And the neighbors hit the highway, head for higher ground, because the storm is on the rise, it's on the rise. And when the waters come and they rage about, baby, we can take it, baby, we can ride it out. Now go and strip the curtains, stitch 'em into sails, because the storms that rage give us wings to fly. And we'll lash 'em to the chimney, with smoke tail to tell of how the storms that will give us wings to fly. And when the waters come and they rage about, baby, we can take it, baby, we can ride it out. And when the waters come with their waves of doubt, baby, we can take it, baby, we can ride it out. We're always saying things should change, be you or me or seasons. Maybe it came with winds and rain, but these storms can't hide the beacon burning in a different shore. We know what they're burning for. And when the waters come and they rage about, baby, we can take it, baby, we can ride it out. And when the waters come with their waves of doubt, baby, we can take it, baby, we can ride it out. Baby, we can take it, baby, we can ride it out. Baby, we can take it, baby, we can ride it out. All right. Sarah, I'm seeing the request to increase sound. You mean like the overall volume level? I can turn it up a teeny bit. On mine, it's just the microphone on my iPhone that's picking this up, but I'm going through this, and it's going through a speaker, and then that's going towards the microphone. So I'm hesitant to go too much louder for fear that it might distort. But let me give it a try on this next song. I'll turn it up a little bit, and then let me know at the end of this next song if we found that it was starting to like break up or feel distorted or anything like that. Then I'll come back down a teeny bit. All right, so we'll do a little trial of this one here. So I might as well play a song that has some energy. This is a song called Pendulum. And I often ask if there's anybody in the audience that has the name Valerie. So don't really need to do that when we're all at home. But if you are Valerie, I did not write this song about you. I made up a Valerie because it's a very pointed song. Let me see what these texts are coming in, then I'll play the song, but just make sure that we're all good here. All right, awesome. Things are good with volume, and yes, I would love to play the song "The Bird." I'll play that in a song or two here. And I'm glad that you saw that at the Rocky Mountain Folks Festival, a place that's just super, super special to me. Here's Valerie first. Pendulum first. Valerie's pissed again, it's clear. She's towing a storm cloud on a string, and everyone runs inside whenever she comes near, 'cause everyone that knows her thinks that they're the reason that she's sad. Valerie's thrilled again, it's obvious. Helium eyes that shine, and everyone here is watching the pendulum of happiness. And everyone that knows her knows it's only often that she swings high and swings low. Gets high and gets loaded. Valerie gets lost, gets found, floats up and comes down. Oh, when did you become such a pendulum? Yep. She wants to balance on a pin and lived her life in kind. She never would fall off or let the points dig in. And everyone that watched her never thought there'd be a day she'd swing high or swing low. Get high or get loaded. Valerie gets lost, gets found, floats up and comes down. When did you become such a pendulum? All right, Nicole, let's do The Bird. Sounds like a great call. Standing on a platform high, a stick on a rope in hand. People come from far and wide with a trapeze man. A circus comes once a year,
tracks from Illinois. Not much else comes to you to enjoy. Now word here travels slow, but it travels nonetheless. I heard it's his last show, and I heard it will be his best. Now weighing in 195, a legend, so I've heard. The closest man to flight alive, they call him the Bird. Should he let go? Second too late, second too soon. I'll know the fate. Most wouldn't try or ever let go. They swing till they stop, release and walk home. This dangerous flight, that's why we stare. Freedom is flying for those who dare. Ticket taker took her toll. Crowds pushed to their seats. Starts with a drum roll, a quickened heartbeats. They sat through the elephants, sat through the lion's roar. Silence the evidence who the crowd was for. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the show. We've got a special treat before you go. Man's not made for flight, this I'm sure you've heard, but let me introduce tonight the man, the legend, the bird. And should he let go, second too late, second too soon. I'll know the fate. Most wouldn't try, ever let go. They'd swing till they stop, release and walk home. This dangerous flight, that's why we stare. Freedom is flying for those who and the music stops. The bird began to soar, eyes on the man up high, thoughts on the floor. They've seen his show before with flips all in between. He's got something in store that ain't nobody's seen. The swing of momentum builds. A mother shields her eyes, fearing he might get killed or lost to the sky. Release hearts and throats. Release. The bird just floats and floats. Are left and they closed the doors. They broke camp, the tent came down. They packed the train and headed right out of town. Escaped the circus, escaped the show. At his peak, he just let go. In this town where truth is blurred, there's talk of flight and a man, a legend, a man, a legend, a bird. Oh, there we go.
Let's do this one, baby. Thank you, Nicole.
You love the sea, you love the ocean, you love me, as I ebb and I flow. A castle of sand, built in a day, you love me, as I wash it away. I wanna be your anchor, I wanna be your home, I wanna be your shore, so you're never alone. Yesterday came, there's no surprise. Water was rising in your eyes. All of your fears that you couldn't hide. Ooh, thought that my leaving was more than the tide. I wanna be your anchor, I wanna be your home, I wanna be your shore, so you're never alone, you're never alone, so you're never alone, you're never alone. Time has come again, I must go. Can you love me as I ebb and flow? As the heart of the ocean is pulled by the moon, the heart of me is pulled by you. The heart of me is pulled by you. Can I be your anchor? Can I be your home? I'll be by your shore, so you're never alone, so you're never alone, so you're never alone, so you're never alone, you're never alone.
So that's a song I wrote quite a few years ago. A period of time where I was doing a lot of touring, and I spent a lot of time away from home. Right now I'm spending a lot of time in home, and it feels pretty good. But I sure do miss playing songs out in the world. So really grateful to be able to play them into the interwebs and to be able to play them to you. And particularly knowing that we have many of the people that have been on this and logged on to this, I have connected with in the natural world, or the outside of the home world. So there's bits of memory, but there's also this liminal stage that we're in right now, hopefully, where we can just lean into the shows online and take the beautiful things that come out of there. So yeah. So one of the things that comes to mind for me after playing that song is just the unbelievable timing of putting out a new EP right now. I've been putting it out, and it's out in the world, and I've got all the CDs, and I'm putting them in envelopes, and I've been spending some hours this week getting those ready to go to the post office next week and send them out to people, which I'm pretty excited about. And but it's a project called Chasing Horizons, and if there are some common themes, it's like isolation and loneliness, and but also love and adventure, and all of those things feel really relevant right now, really relevant right now. So I didn't plan on having this album come out during a quarantine or a time of socially distant interactions, but it's feeling pretty apt. So I'm going to play a couple songs from that, and this one here is called Suddenly Small, and this is written on the very first day of this voyage when I was traveling from Portland, Maine to Reykjavik, Iceland, just myself and 9 Russian crew members, and this was leaving Portland, called Suddenly Small. Suddenly small, suddenly everything in me's unsteady. I watched you fade into the lines and shades and shapes of our city. I turned away, but only when the whole horizon all looked the same. Suddenly small, suddenly small. Thank God for this photograph. You in that blue dress. You in that blue dress. Waves, 10,000 waves, 10,000 more I'll see before back to you go fetch a shell, and I will sing a song across the ocean. You kiss the wind, set it to wings with north and east, follow and see. Suddenly small, suddenly small. So thank God for this photograph. You in that blue dress. You in that blue dress. Hundreds of years have been gone to the ocean. So that was the first song, and I wrote I wrote like 10 songs on this journey, but I threw a bunch of them overboard, and kept 5 of them and put them out on this EP. And that was the first song on the EP, and then I'm going to also play the last song. And the other ones they're out there. You can get them. You can get the CDs hopefully in the mail soon, but it's also streaming. You can go to Spotify or I think Amazon and Apple Music and all of those places. So, but yes, so this is the song that kind of summed up the experience for me, and this is in the loneliness. I felt grateful that what I was lonely about was that I was missing somebody at home, and not everybody's loneliness is from the same place. And so I leaned in on the appreciative side of loneliness in that moment, and I wrote what turned out to be a pretty direct love song. And it's called "The Man I Want to Be." Well, I've turned away 1,000 times, I've hidden in 1,000 rhymes, I've been the reason that you cried, been the shadow to your light. I've pulled the covers to my side, and I've placed the burden of my pride, been the low to your high, and I've been the dust in your eye, I've been the cloud in your sky, I've been a half-hearted try, been emotionally trite, and I've been the unexpected fight. I've made the space between us wide, and I've made a few sleepless nights. I've held back the reason why, been a receding tide. And you see a man you want to see, that's the man I want to be. Somewhere you see what you need most. You see the waves to your coast, see your Patrick Swayze ghost, and see an anniversary toast. You see the forest for the trees, and see a better side of me. See below the stormy sea, and you manifest what you believe. I must confess you won the fight between your arms and my appetite for a never-ending life in flight and a different pillow every night. See the coming of better weather, see a better life together. Keep your fears tied and tethered, keep your hope adorned with heather. You see a man you want to see, that's the man I want to be. You see, you're the reason I'm not alone. You're the reason that I rush home. You're the reason that my heart explodes when I put these words to notes. I see a mother to my daughter, see a reason to be a father, see a life adventure partner, a world to desert. You're my water, and if sometimes you don't believe in all the beauty that I see, in the depths of my need for to feel your divinity, well, eye to eye we made a vow, and I feel it even stronger now. I'll sing it loud, I'll sing it proud, I'll sing away the clouds of doubt. In you see a man you want to see, that's the man I want to be. it's pretty fun right now playing the guitar. Well, it's always fun playing the guitar, but Madison did my fingernails the other day, so there's like it's subtle. It's subtle. They just kind of catch the light, but girl dad, get my nails did. It's great. All right, so I saw a request for Spark. This song came from a time when I was working as a peace dialogue facilitator for a camp that brought together Israeli, Palestinian, and American kids. And I wrote this song as a way of getting out of my own way and thinking that I had to solve all of the world's problems. And just realizing that any one of us that gathered in this time, we weren't charged with solving the world. We were there just to be human and to be human with other humans and to see somebody on the other side of conflict. And so I know that our national dialogue and our international dialogue is often dehumanizing right now. So it's I think the song's a good reminder to I don't know, be a little spark of goodness out there and give people the benefit of the doubt and lean in. Let's play the song. Here's Spark. It starts with a spark that catches to flame. It's given fuel and it's given air and it's given a name. The fire will grow, will burn our marshmallows. It'll warm your heart, but it starts with a spark. As every tree was a seed, and every seed came to be by the grace of the wind or the leg of a bee. Now, darling, you're small, so small for this world. A firefly in a mason jar that will swing and it will swirl. The envious stars, see how lovely you are. You'll outshine them all, even though you're small. 'Cause every tree was a seed, and every seed came to be by the grace of the wind or the leg of a bee. So you wanna do good? Let me show you how. Wanna leave your mark? Let me show you how. Well, it starts with a spark, so infinitesimally small. It spreads to one, it spreads to two, before it spreads to us all. And it takes a risk to twist your wrist. Open up that jar and release the spark. 'Cause every tree was a seed, and every seed came to be by the grace of the wind or the leg of a bee.
become big things eventually.
All right, I'm seeing some things happen over here. What do we got? Oh, yeah. I would love to play Willow. Especially for you, Sarah. I would love to play Willow. This is really nice. I'm having a great time. Hopefully this is a relaxing and enjoyable thing for you to be spending some time doing here in the evening time. I can only imagine 7:20. Maybe you're making some dinner, and you got this going on in the kitchen. Maybe you're done with dinner. Maybe you just are like, you don't do dinner. It's not your thing. I get it.
That's okay too. I already had some dinner, but I'm gonna have a second dinner after this because I have a third show, and I figure I should have a little bit more food before I play another show. So I'm gonna have a second dinner, just in case you were wondering. If you're like, he looks a little bit like he's used up all of his first dinner. Maybe I did. But here we go. Here's Willow. Well, she woke in early spring, dug her toes into the ground, set her mind to gathering the bits of light cast all around, all the light cast all around. She drank in deep the melted snow, held it to her heart with care, and the more she grew, the more she showed her longing for a love not there. She wept for a love not there. Oh, Willow, Willow, standing in a field alone, are you waiting for a love to come back? Well, I came to her on a summer day, heavy laden empathy. How beautiful her hair did sway, how it caught the youth within the breeze, all the youth within the breeze. I softly whispered in her ear, what has brought your heart such hurt? And the rain fell down her veil as tears, and I knew her pain came without words. She wept for a lost songbird. Oh, Willow, Willow, standing in a field alone, are you waiting for love? Come back. Are you waiting for love to come back home? Are you waiting for love to call you home? To call you home. Well, I cannot say that her sorrow is gone, that she never comes apart. But when she sang her lover's song, the moment there her hair departs, you could see straight to her heart, you could feel the healing start.
All right, so let's see here. All right, Julie, yeah, I can play the backup plan. I can only see part of your message right now, but I would love to play backup plan. It's kind of similar to that last song tonally, so maybe I'll change the capo position one. Totally different sound. Totally different sound. Super cool. Looks like that you got married in the church. That's great. I'm just in their Facebook right now, just so clear. I have been into that church many times, but I'm at my house here. This is my curtain to my backyard. I don't know, it just feels like the most like stage-like place I have. Okay, so I'll do backup plan, and then I'll do one more tune here, and then send us on our digital way. But the story of this one is I was in a writer's block. I was in a little bit of a slump, and I guess I'm in one of those right now. But the strategy that I took to get out of that writer's block was to try to find somebody else's story in a public space. And the place that I went to for that was a coffee shop. I can't really do the same approach right now, so I don't know where I'm going to get my next song. But I wanted to just hear somebody else's story where they didn't know that I was listening to them and get a song out of it. And so coffee shops at works and public transportation. But I was at the Hilltop Coffee Shop in Portland, and I just knew I needed to get the song, so I went in there really, really early, and I went to a table that was right in the middle of the shop, and I just waited for my song to come. And it took a long time for those people to come in the door, but when they finally did, I saw them, and immediately I knew that it was this couple that was walking in was going to be my song. And so I bussed the table beside me to make sure that they had somewhere to sit, and I welcomed them to the table. Tried to give them the satisfaction of privacy, so I put my earbuds in, but I didn't plug them into anything because I was undercover. And then I let their conversation go for a little while, and I was having doubts about whether that was going to be my song after all. Then lo and behold, when you doubt most, sometimes the world delivers, and there was a long pause that was pretty awkward for the three of us, and I realized that I just need to wait a little bit longer, and then the Romeo of the conversation leaned across to the table to the woman on the other side and said, I was really sad when I heard that you got married because I thought of you as my backup plan. And so the backup plan, I was just getting a phone call. Maybe that's who this person was. They're telling me, abort the song. But I took the sentiment and I put it into this song, and here's backup plan with hopefully a different twist on the intention that I'm sure that he had when he said the line that just did not come out right. So here's backup plan. Well, I was sad when I first heard you with another man.
I had always hoped that I would be your backup plan. Maybe when we both were old and both were lonely, you'd come for me. I know that it's a thing to say to a childhood friend when your paths diverge and you know it is an end. I dreamt that mine would be well lit and it turns clear to see, and not lonely, but I am lonely. Isn't it funny how life can change, and how we hide the scars behind our eyes? We were 17 and we made a vow to never let us be lonely. Well, I tried to remind you once, but it only came out wrong. Seems I always find my way into a country song, when maybe it's this crooked path that I walk along, 'cause I am lonely. Isn't it funny how life can change, how we hide the scars behind our eyes? We were 17, we made a vow never let us be lonely. What if we could go on back to our childhood days and decided then to never go our separate ways? I wouldn't want my hair to gray, I wouldn't raise to 40, and I'd never be lonely. Here we sit in a coffee shop, you, your ring, and me, and I am lonely.
All right, folks. Well, I think I'm going to do one more song and disperse from here. But thanks so much to Paul Davis, being my rock steady contact in all of this, and Amelia, and for getting this up and running and giving me permission to go digital. And for everybody for tuning in. Thank you. This is super fun. What a fun way to spend a mellow Friday night. I'm going to leave us with an upbeat song here called Charlie. Reminding us to stay connected to the natural world around us, and hopefully we stay connected to people digitally as well. But thanks again, everybody, and after this I'll finish this little show, but I think this song will probably stay up there for a little while. But much appreciate your energy, and have a good rest of your night and nice weekend.
Charlie's working on a deadline. Charlie's working on a big, big deal. moving numbers round, changing figures. Charlie is a friend of yours, and the world outside is snowing lightly. What's your urgency, Charlie? Charlie's chin is itching. Charlie's boss is breathing down his neck. Colored face, feeling scars. Charlie is a friend of ours, and the world outside is snowing lightly. What's your urgency, Charlie? Will shine brightly. She's coy and she's blushing and she's calling politely. Her dawn still waits for your embrace, to cast her light in, to kiss your face. So throw your hands behind your head as you lay down in her clover. Throw your worries in her stream, let the current wash you over. Feel your own heart beating as you run among her hills. She's the one who's always loved you, and God knows she always will. When the day is ending, when the sky is nearly dark, she's an owl in the shadows, still calling for your heart. So I ask you once again, and I do not ask you lightly, what's your urgency, Charlie? Charlie's life has a deadline. Charlie's life is a big, big deal. All right, everybody. Good night to you. Thanks for tuning in to the Coffeehouse, Falmouth Coffeehouse, put on by the Falmouth Congregational Church. Good folks, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you hopefully at another one of these live or another digital one out there. But be well. Much love.